prophets, pastors, and money. What's your take on the topic? I recently sat down with Prophet Walter Magaya from PhD, Prophetic Healing and Deliverance Ministries from Zimbabwe. I asked Prophet Magaya what it exactly means for one to be called a prophet.
There are 5 old ministries. It's not only a pastor, there is an evangelist, there's an apostle, there's a pastor. A prophet, when it comes to a prophet, is someone that is sitting in the counsel of God, someone who has been sent to say the mind of God. A pastor is one who follows up and is one who mentors people in the whole church, and he makes a follow-up on them. But a prophet speaks on behalf of God.
What are the mechanisms of accountability in the church as a whole and in the secular world? If someone says I'm a prophet and he comes out declaring things representing God, what are the mechanisms of accountability as far as people who listen to what they say are concerned?
To me, I always say it's not you who declares that you're a prophet. People might say you're a prophet after you prophesy, after you speak what God is saying. So like what Jesus said, he said, who am I? Asking to the people. So it's the biggest challenge is people are giving themselves titles, but people must give you a title. They must describe who you are.
So who described you, prophet?
People.
So the people?
Exactly. People described me. I started to prophesy at a small age, and people started to say, you are a prophet. I even called myself a man of God for many years. I was just calling myself man of God. But those who I prophesied to, those who are healed prophetically, those who I preached to prophetically, described me as a prophet.
How long have you been in ministry?
I've been in ministry since 1998. But to be in full-time ministry as I am, as my ministry, PhD Ministries, it's only 3 years.
What is PhD ministry?
PhD means Prophetic Healing and Deliverance Ministry. That's the ministry.
How many years have you been in PhD?
We are just on 28 October, we'll be reaching our 3rd year.
How has been the response, especially in Zimbabwe where you are based?
Just 3 years ago, 4 years ago, we were gathering as 45 people, me and my family and other few people. But right now we have done the largest gathering in Southern Africa, where we gathered 350,000 people last year.
We have read news reports about your relationship with Prophet TB Joshua. How credible are the reports?
He's my father. I am what I am because of him. He's the one who identified who I am. When I visited him 4 years ago, he told me that to stop all the projects that I was doing and focus on ministry. So he's my father.
So do you have close relationship with him?
Yes, he guides me. He guides me every time. He tells me what to do and what not to do. I'm not a God of men, but I'm a man of God. So I make mistakes, so he guides me.
There have been controversy surrounding him. We are not going to go into that. But I want to ask about the relationship between church and money, church and business. How do you understand? How do you view that relationship?
The one of man is God, and we represent him.
There have been a lot of reports that a lot of these charismatic ministers, they live a lavish lifestyle. Pretty much with some people, both in the secular and in the Christian world, arguing that it doesn't represent God, living a lavish lifestyle.
No.
What's your view?
God said, I'm the one of sovereign God. So you are representing the one who owns the sovereign God. So what you proclaim is you are marketing the biggest name in the world, which is Jesus Christ. So why should you come to the world as poor people, whilst you are marketing the richest of all?
How much do you generate out of your church activities a month?
We generate enough to feed the poor. We generate enough to help those who are in need.
Like how many poor do you feed?
Like in my case, I assist more than 5,000 families every month.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And we generate enough to do that.
What is the response from the community? Do people see this?
Yes.
Is it understood at a large scale?
Yeah, it is. Like in my case, it is. I've assisted so many people. I've given houses, I've given shelter, I've given cars, I've given school fees. I have assisted different institutes. I've assisted our football, everything. I assist whatever I'm able to reach to. So they understand me very well.
So they understand that the people who are giving in church, they understand that whatever they are giving is going to the right cause.
Yes, they do.
And you haven't faced a resistance internally?
No, we don't. You see, if you come close, you get to understand it. So there's no way that you can face the resistance if people are understanding. The only challenge is if you do it without really explaining yourself what you're doing and really showing them what you're doing. Like in my case, I've got partners who are all over the world who knows the cause and they understand the calling. So they assist me fully. So there's no any challenge whatsoever, because they understand what I'm doing and they've seen the fruits.
And they agree even with your lifestyle?
Yes, very much. They're actually complaining that I'm living at a low.
Do they understand it wholly?
Yes, they do.
So your life is an open book.
It
There's
is
nothing hidden.
Nothing. They're actually asking me to upgrade myself a bit.
How many cars do you have?
Just a few. Right now I bought 3. I had 4, but I given away the latest that I had just last week to the charity. It's just not very much expensive. It's just worth about 65,000 US, and I gave it away. That was my latest car.
So you gave a car that's worth $65,000.
Exactly, to charity.
One would assume that you're a millionaire.
Yes, I am a trillionaire actually.
Yeah.
I'm a trillionaire in the spirit.
How does that translate to the ordinary people that you are leading who are extremely poor?
There's no one who's extremely poor in my church. You come poor and you are empowered to be rich. How? Through teachings, through deliverance. That's what we believe in. Because poverty is only something that is in the mind and which you can live out, and you can be taught to be out of it. And if you're taught to be out of it, you can be empowered to do something. That's what we do in our church.
Have you seen a radical transformation of people?
For many. Like right now, we have opened projects of mining, farming, which we are assisting the whole community on. So I don't believe that anyone is poor. It's only that you may not have picked your opportunity yet.
Since you have mentioned about mining and construction, it is highly believed that in a country like Zimbabwe, it's very difficult to do any operation without being corrupt. How do you navigate that space as a prophet?
That's a very good lie. You can do without corruption. You can proceed without corruption. I am where I am without corrupting anyone. I'm just exploiting my gift, and people are seeing it, and people are coming from all over the world, from America, from England, from China, coming for the gift. And that's the manner that we use and to help people. I'm not corrupt in any sense.
How do you convince people who have seen you being close to the president that you are not corrupt or you are not beneficiary of corrupt?
My president is not corrupt. I've never heard any corruption about him. So being close to him, it also means that I'm not corrupt.
But the argument is that the state is where it is because of corruption. How do you dispel that argument?
It doesn't mean that the president is corrupt. Because the president is not the state, he's the head of state.
But he presides over a corrupt system.
Exactly. If you are presenting a corrupt system, doesn't really make it mean that you are corrupt as well. Maybe he's also fighting the corruption as much as he's doing it. But if you are leading people are going to do anything. We are just behind you, and see how he's shuffling the cabinet, how he's working the systems. It means he's noticing something and he's working it out. But I tell you, he's not a corrupt man.
As a prophet with servicing over 200,000 people a week, what the president is doing, do you think it's working?
Yes.
What is happening?
Yes. It's only that it's a system that is difficult to understand. He's just trying to empower a black man. And the problem is we are moving out of fear, and we are not understanding what he's trying to do. He's trying to empower a black man, to give a black man power. So that's his fight only.
I've scanned through some of stuff that has been written about what you're doing. I read about Planet Africa. Can you briefly shed light on what Planet Africa is?
Planet Africa is an organization that I created to facilitate investors who want to invest in Africa. You see, it is difficult for one to come from another country and come to Africa and invest in there. So Planet Africa is there to facilitate an investor and to give them a favorable condition and to understand the systems of Africa. We have realized that because we are behind, because we are trailing behind the developed countries, there are things that are different from the countries that investors come from. So Planet Africa is there to facilitate that. It holds different portfolios. We have got mining, farming, electricity, ways, roads, and everything, construction. So Planet Africa is to facilitate those who want to invest in those things.
I understand it's a some billion-dollar company.
Yes.
What does that mean to an ordinary person?
What Planet Africa is trying to raise about 10 billion. That's the target that we have. We are trying to bring investors who can also bring 10 billion to resuscitate the Southern African countries. Planet Africa is in Zimbabwe. We are bringing it in South Africa. It's also in Botswana. We are bringing it in Zambia, so that we can try and make a way for Southern Africa to have proper investments.
Is this an independent project or is a church-related project?
It's a church-related project. But besides that, what I'm saying, Planet Africa develops skills as well. If you see, we are building stadiums right now. We want to develop skills of the young men so that they can do more in sports. And actually, like Ronaldo and Rivaldo have revived Brazil through their gift of football. So Planet Africa is looking at that as well in developing young talent.
So who are the beneficiaries of
the
this
community,
good project? The
community around, and the people who supports the vision.
What are the mechanisms that are there to make sure that the intended beneficiary, they do benefit? Are you accountable to anybody as the head of the church? Is there a board in the church that oversees all these projects?
Planet Africa has the board.
Okay.
Planet Africa is a board, there's some trustees, there's people that are organized, people that are learned enough. It is all the desks that are needed in an organization to empower a country.
I want to understand the last part about the spiritual element.
Okay.
Earlier on when we had the discussions, you said to me, everyone is possessed. Everyone is possessed. Did I hear you correctly?
I said one can be possessed, oppressed, or covered.
Yeah.
One of the three can be on you. You can be possessed, covered, or oppressed.
By evil spirits.
By evil spirits.
And
everyone needs deliverance of some sort. Because the word salvation means sozo. Sozo means three things. You need to be healed, you need to be delivered, you need to save your spirit. But Jesus Christ came for the three. But churches have limited the other two. They've limited the healing, they've limited the deliverance. They focus only on the salvation of the spirit. So I say people must go to heaven, yes, but what has happened on you on earth? Were you delivered? Did you live a full life? Were you healed by his stripe? Or you ignored the two and went only to heaven?
I understand those are part of the bigger components of your ministry.
Healing and
deliverance.
Exactly.
How has been the response?
Massive. Right now, imagine from 45 people and able to gather 350,000 people at one go. In 3 years, it has never happened anywhere in the world. So I think it's a great achievement, and I strongly believe that we are going to have more. We have got our next night of turnaround in October, where we're expecting more than 1 million people to gather.
What kind of problems are people healed or delivered from?
Everything that you may think of.
What do you mean by everything?
Every disease, every crippledness, every challenge, every delay, every miscarriage, whatever they are facing.
Do people get healed of AIDS?
Yes.
AIDS?
HIV, it's full-blown HIV.
Have you experienced that in your own church?
Thousands of them.
And
Yes,
it's credible.
They bring us their results of their diseases. If they're tested positive, we pray for them and we encourage them to go back to the doctors and get tested again. And they bring us another result, which says negative.
Do people pay to come to be healed, or it's a free service?
No, it's a free service.
So everything that you do is for free?
It's for free, yes.
That was Prophet Walter Magaya from PhD Ministries. For this and other news, you can follow us on Twitter at CNBC Africa.